Lesson 5-8 Ratio Reasoning Convert Customary Units. Copy these notes into your math journal just like we do in class. We use customary units in everyday life. We use them to answer questions like, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? Who invented the customary units we use today? Watch this video for one possible answer.
How Big is a Foot? Written and illustrated by Rolf Muller. Once upon a time there lived a king and a queen. They were a happy couple because they had everything in the world. When the queen's birthday was near, the king had a problem. He did not know what to give the queen. The king fought very hard. The king finally had an idea. He wanted to give a bed to the queen because beds were not invented yet at that time. The king told the carpenter to make a bed for the queen. "How big is the bed?" the carpenter asked. How big is the bed?" the king thought. The king thought and thought. The king thought very hard. Suddenly, the king had a great idea. The bed must be big enough to fit the queen. The king called the queen. He told her to put on her pajamas and lie on the floor. The king took off his shoes and walked carefully around the queen. The bed is 3 feet wide and 6 feet long. The king told the carpenter, "The bed must be 3 feet wide and 6 feet long to be big enough to fit the queen." The carpenter took off his shoes and measured the size of the bed with his little feet and made a bed fit for the queen. "What a beautiful bed," the king said. Then he brought out the bed and told the queen to try it, but the bed was much too small for the queen. The king was so angry that he put the carpenter into jail. What was the problem? "I can make a bed to fit the queen if I know the size of the king's foot," the carpenter said. The king took off one shoe and asked someone to make an exact marble copy of the king's foot. The carpenter took the marble copy of the king's foot, and with it he measured 3 feet wide and 6 feet long and built a bed to fit the queen. "I love my new bed," said, and the queen fell asleep on the bed immediately. The king was very happy and rewarded the carpenter with money. From then on, anyone who wanted to measure anything used a copy of the king's foot, and everyone would know exactly how big it was.
We convert one customary unit into another customary unit all the time. How many inches in 2 feet? 1 foot equals 12 inches. 2 feet equals 24 inches. It's just like finding equivalent fractions or equivalent ratios. In Miss Arlington's class, you learn units of kitchen capacity and how to convert them. Here's the story of Gallonland. Just remember rates and ratios, spiders and legs.
Come on. What? You heard what Hagrid said? Follow the spiders. They're headed to the dark forest. Wait, spiders? Why couldn't we follow the butterflies?